Hey, are you ready for another art adventure? Because boy, do I have an adventure for you today. It's gonna take us out of this world into outer space. Okay, maybe we won't leave wherever we're drawing, but we are going to draw something that could take us out of this world into outer space, and that is a rocket. I thought, how fitting would a rocket be to blast us off into the next thing? Maybe it's summertime, maybe it's blasting us off into tomorrow? Maybe it's blasting us off into a new school year? No, not quite yet. But the important thing is this rocket is going to blast us off. And, when I think about rockets, I think about, what's outside of the atmosphere, and they always talk about the heavens being up there somewhere. And it makes me think about the Bible verse, Psalm 8:3-4. I think about the heavens. I think about what your fingers have created. I think about the moon and the stars that you have set in place. What are human beings that you think about them? What is a son of man that you take care of him? The amazing thing to me about this Bible verse is, I've been thinking a lot recently, just in my personal devotions, about the love of God and how He loves us no matter what, and how we can never get away from that love. He will always, always, always love us. And He is always there for us. He is always there. In the past, He's always been there, and in the future, He'll always be there. And there is a really fancy word for this, and it is called omnipresent. It means that God is everywhere. He is in this room, and He is in outer space, and He is on another planet, and He is right here in my heart. And God is everywhere. And that is mind-blowing, because as a human, I can't be anywhere but where I am. I can't divide myself. I can't make two of me. I can't be here and over there cleaning at the same time. Although sometimes I wish I could do weird things like that, the ultimate reality is I can only be where I am. I am only one person. I am only me, and I'm just right here, right now. But God, He is everywhere, and He's still just God. And that doesn't mean like just God, like He's like tiny or little or whatever. I mean, like, He's not like multiple gods everywhere. He's like one God that is everywhere at the same time. And there's one amazing part about Him. And the thing that most amazes me about God's omnipresence is that He is in the heavens, and He's in outer space, and He's here on earth at the same time. He is in your bedroom, and He's in your living room at the same time. He is all around, and He is there for us, and He's fighting hard for us. He loves us, and He wants us so much. There's a song out there, there's a Bible verse, it's both, but it says that He will leave the 99 others and come for you. When you are lost, He is going to leave the 99 other people that are following Him to come get you. And He is going to search for you, and He's going to love you, and He wants you to be undeniably His. And so today, as you draw your rocket ship, I hope you can think of how God is in outer space, and He is here. He is in the living room and in the bedroom at the same time, and nobody, nowhere, no how can do that except for God. And allow this rocket ship not just to blast you into your next activity, but to blast you into a deeper relationship with the one true God. Well, anyways, all that to say, I hope you enjoyed today's art project, and I hope you have so much fun. Thanks for creating with me.
What you will need for today's project is a piece of paper and a pencil. Some other optional things are white crayon, a piece of paper of a different color, and markers or something to color with, a glue stick, and then scissors. So let's get started. The first thing we want to do is to fold this paper in half vertically or long ways. So match up the corners, hold it with one hand, press it down with the other hand, and you have a nice long vertical piece of paper. Sometimes people call this hot dog fold, like you're eating a hot dog in a bun. You want to make sure that when you're drawing on the part that is folded, not on the part that is open. So we're going to do half a drawing, and I'll show you why here soon. So make sure to draw on the folded side, not the open side. So again, you match up the corners, hold it with one finger, press it down with the other finger, and then it should be ready to go. Yay! Grab that pencil. We're going to start drawing on the folded side, and I'll show you why later, but just trust me on this. Start drawing on the folded side. Alright, so a little bit down from the top of the paper, I'm going to start this drawing, okay? So just a little bit down from the top of the paper, I'm going to start by going out from that fold toward my other hand. So I'm drawing with my right hand, so I'm going to go out from the fold toward my left hand. And I'm going to make a nice long, it's almost like maybe a smile or a frowny face depending on how you look at it. And then I'm going to bring the line in toward the fold. So it's like, kind of like a part of a circle. Then I come down and over toward the fold again. And then I'm going to step in and go down and over toward the fold again. And then step down and over toward the fold again, so that it looks kind of like an upside down carrot. And then I come out, and this I'm going out from that oval type thing that I made, out, and then a little back in, and then the whole way back in. So if you haven't guessed it yet, we are drawing a rocket. So I just drew the wing of the rocket. Now I'm grabbing my scissors, and I'm going to cut out my rocket. Remember, when you're cutting, take your time, try to cut on your lines, make sure not to cut off your wing. And if you struggle with any of these areas, then remember, try coming in from a different direction. Put your scraps on a pile so you don't lose anything. Come in when you're cutting inward like this. Now I'm going to turn my scissors and I'm going to go down. But some people have difficulty with that. So let me show you how to do it without turning. Cut straight in, bring your scissors back out, cut straight in again, and then cut up. And that'll help cut that out of there, and you just pull it right out. And I'll do that again. So I'd cut straight in, and now I'm cutting straight in again. I'm going to cut off the extra, put that on my scrap pile, cut up, and that makes it a little bit easier, and then you can just pull out the little piece that you just cut. Alright, so there is my rocket. One side is not fully finished with the drawing, and the other side is a little bit more finished. And so I'm just going to add in the lines to finish up this basic rocket shape here to make it look like our long pointed oval. And then I'm going to also finish up at the bottom there. That's supposed to be like its little rocket booster or whatever. So I'm just finishing up those lines. Now you get to make a lot of decisions about your rocket, like what do you want it to look like? You get to decorate it however you want. Do you want a bunch of windows? Do you want one big window? Do you want two windows? I'm going to actually use the cap of my glue to draw my windows so that it's nice and round. If you have a nice size cap of glue, you could use that. You could find maybe like a cup, like a mouthwash cup, to trace if you wanted to make your windows like a little bit bigger. So you get to decide here. You don't actually have to trace anything. I just thought it'd be a nice easy way to keep the circle a nice circle there. Downside of using the glue cap though, it did get a little stuck to my paper, but it's okay. So once you finish getting your windows on, what's the next detail you want to do? I'm going to put a line in between the top of my rocket and the next part of the rocket. I had to get a little glue off my paper first. So it's just going to go up here like the rocket would have like a little different color tip area on it. And so you get to make this up. Do you want to draw yourself in one of the windows or maybe some of your friends? I am going to just do a line to show like that the window had like a thickness or edge, like where it was attached. I'm going to do that on each of my windows. You could even put like a little flag from where you are, a made up flag for your individual country that you maybe made up, and you're sending your rocket out to explore space. You can have as much creative fun with this project as you want. I'm going to use markers to decorate mine with, and I'm going to use a scrap paper to put behind my rocket because it makes it easier to keep my desk clean. And then I am going to color mine. So I'm going to put this into the speed mode, so that way you don't have to just waste your time watching me color, but yet you get to see how I do it. Let me give you a quick tip on coloring. I look like I'm coloring very fast here, but I like to take my time when I'm coloring, color nice and slow, outline things that I do not want to color inside of. So I had outlined each of my windows with my blue marker. So it makes it a lot easier to keep it neat. You do not have to go in one direction. You can twist and turn your rocket to help you achieve your goals in coloring. That is fine. I am adding little dots to my rocket, like it's some kind of screws or brackets holding my rocket together. The next thing I'm going to do is make a little fire for the back of my rocket. I'm going to use my scrap paper from cutting my rocket out. I'm just going to fold part of that in towards the center, and then I'm going to draw the fire. Now I want to see how big to make it, so I'm going to try to make it as big as or half as big as the back of the rocket there. No big deal if I mess that up. I can trim it down later. And then I just sketch out what I think the fire should look like and go ahead and cut that out. Did have to trim mine down a little bit afterwards. I didn't make it small enough to fit at the back end of the rocket. To color fire, I like to start in the center of the fire with red. Now, I have looked at pictures of fire, and I can tell you that other people draw it sometimes not starting with red. So whatever you feel like doing is fine. After red, I take the orange, and I like to kind of go over the edge of the red with my orange and then bring the orange out a little bit farther in a kind of squiggly way, and I think that makes it look most natural. And then I do the same thing with the yellow, filling in the rest of it, and I like to smear the yellow into the orange a little bit because I think that makes it look a little bit more natural and awesome, like fire. So have fun making your fire. Now I'm going to grab a piece of black construction paper to glue my rocket to. But if you don't have black construction paper and you have a different color, you can feel free to do that, or you can even just glue it on regular white paper. So what I will do is I will save my scrap paper so that way I can flip my rocket over on my scrap paper and use it to protect my desk from my glue, and I will put glue on the rocket with the scrap paper behind it. Now just flip the rocket back over, place it onto your paper wherever you wanted it, and then rub it down, and then you can put the fire on. Some people might want to put the fire on first because I'm actually going to peel up a little bit of the bottom of my rocket, which works pretty easy with the stick glue to put the fire on underneath of that. So some people may prefer to glue that onto the rocket prior to gluing it down. I just prefer to do it this way. So anyways, there is the rocket, but that's kind of boring. I want to add something to it, so I'm going to take my white crayon and I'm going to draw some stars around it. Now, I don't know if you've ever drawn stars like I'm drawing right now, but that's a fun, easy way to get stars that look pretty good. I will tell you how to do that here in a couple seconds, but first let me tell you how to do an even easier star. You make an X, draw a line down through the middle of the X and across the middle of the X, and you have a star that like an asterisk. So there's another one of those. Alright, so how to make the star that I made before. Alright, draw like you're going to draw a triangle, then go across that, across it again, and back across. So hopefully you can practice that and try that out. I like making stars like that. But if you are unable to, no big deal. You can make stars however you feel like you can make them. And another cool idea is if you have a star sticker, you could use star stickers in the background. Now I'm drawing a moon. I'm going to make a crescent moon. And I don't know why I chose a crescent moon, because I got to be quite honest, I don't think I've ever drawn a crescent moon that I like the way it looked. But I will draw one today and we'll see how it looks. I'm going to put some circles on my crescent moon so that I can draw a little bit lighter on those circles to kind of make it look more like the face of the moon with the craters on it. So I'm coloring in my crescent moon. And that looks like cow spots before I color it. But anyways,
Coloring
it all in. Yep, don't like that crescent moon either, but someday I shall draw a crescent moon that I like the look of. I make them a little too round, I know that, and then I make them less round, and I don't like the look of that either. So someday I aspire to draw a great crescent moon. Alright, I'll finish out my stars here. It's really fun to put the stars all around the rocket ship because it really makes it have a nice finished look. And there is my rocket ship with the crescent moon, the stars, and the fire. Now, you might be thinking that's awesome and everything, but I don't have whatever. I don't have black paper, I don't have markers. Well, here's just a regular rocket. Like if you wanted to make it without the wing sides on it, you could do it that way, and then you could color it with whatever you have. Or if you don't have anything to color with, I started drawing this one earlier and I will finish it now. You can just use your black marker, and if you have a black marker, and you can go over it and make it more of a black and white graphic type of drawing. Now you might not have a black marker like this, and in that case you could use a black pen, or you could just finish things up with your pencil. So it's not a requirement to do any one of these things. The great thing about creativity is there's so many choices, and you get to make those choices and you get to have fun while doing it. And it's the one part of the day that you don't have to follow exact directions to end up with a really nice product. Of course, following directions on how to draw the rocket would be helpful. But as far as what your rocket looks like or how you finish it, those are choices that you get to make and have fun with it. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson, and thanks for creating with me.